Welcome to Jrodconcerts, the podcast live, and we are honored to have one of the best musical souls in Nashville, Bre Kennedy. So guys, welcome to Jrodconcerts, the podcast. Bre Kennedy, what an honor.
Well, thank you for having me.
Look at you.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this is like a highlight. So thrilled to have you on the show.
So happy to be here.
Absolutely. So, you were on our regular podcast earlier this year. It was a huge hit. And, people can check it out if they want to get your backstory. But this is like the sequel. This is like part 2, I feel like, Bre.
This is the real deal.
The real deal. But Bre, seriously, I've been in Nashville 8 months. And I've learned that reputation is, no pun intended, reputation is a very big deal here. It's like a small town, people know what your character is, the values, and in different circles, when you say the words Bre Kennedy, people just smile. Everyone just loves Bre Kennedy, not only your music, obviously, and your talent, but you as a person.
Wow.
So.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, you live in they say everyone lives in an emotional home. Like if your emotional home is stress, you will always, your default will be stress. If your emotional home is fear, that's your default. It seems like your emotional home is joy and passion. Where did this come from, Bre?
That is beautiful to hear, especially after last year. I feel like after last year I was living in a home of a little bit of the first two that you said. But, well, that's good to hear. Joy, I feel like, I simplified my life 6 years ago by moving to Nashville, and Nashville's made me really happy, and the people have made me who I am and really, really happy. So I think maybe there's just a genuine joy for where I'm at.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And joy too, with your own spirit, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, after last year, I'm definitely sifting through what's next, and there's a little bit of unsettledness in my spirit of okay, what do I want now? Mm-hmm. But overall, yeah, I'm a really happy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. There's this one video online, and it's beautiful, of when you finished your album that comes out in the fall, and you go to an empty theater.
Yes.
And you play it out loud there in an empty theater with you and with a friend.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you sing Sheryl Crow on stage. It is actually a spine-tingling, beautiful video. Mm. Tell us a little bit about these little moments that are part of your everyday life. Yeah,
I'm so happy you brought that up. The girl who actually runs that theater in Jacksonville is one of my best friends, and I wanted to go see her after not seeing her for a year, and I said I have to sequence my record. I have to turn it into mastering, in 2 days.
Sure.
She said, let's go open up the theater, let's bring a bottle of wine, and yeah, let's just listen down. And because I couldn't for the life of me bring myself to end that chapter. You have all these songs ready for an album, and I was like, I just couldn't do it. So having friends there to dance with and celebrate the music with without being so involved in the songs I felt like a kid.
Amazing.
And that's where I'm most happy is when I'm with my friends listening to music. So I think they captured that, and it was a relief to let go of all the songs that I had been carving and writing, and it was a total happy moment, genuinely.
Yeah,
after
it really
last
was.
year.
And thank you for sharing it with the world. I think it's like a
and then Sheryl Crow's my favorite.
Of inspiration there for whoever wants it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, I want to ask you about a few live shows that you have coming up or that you've performed recently, because you're such a great live performer and your music is incredible. But these shows have an extra meaning, the ones that we're going to talk about. So let's start with one that happened in early June here in Nashville at an iconic venue called the Basement East. And you performed not one, but 2 sold-out shows on a Friday night that really will go down in history. I was lucky to be part of the first one. Just talk to me about that magical night. It was magical.
Well, thank you for being there. Mm-hmm. That was a marathon, just because my band and I hadn't played, obviously, in a while. We had just gotten off the road, first touring back for opening for Fits and the Tantrums. Right. So it was kind of get home, get ready for this show. And it was 2 shows of old stuff and new stuff. So it was really nerve-wracking. And the last show I played in Nashville was at Exit In. And I had never played Basement East, like for my own headlining show. I'd only done like one of the tribute shows for like Bruce, or I did Janis Joplin there, but it was never my stuff. So it was a dream to be able to play Basement East. I'd been playing Basement for years, and it was like a big moment for me to be like, okay, like we get to show up on this stage that literally is the strongest place in the world, literally came back from the tornado.
Yeah.
It was just very special. I was very nervous, but the minute we got on stage, it was like, you know, people were still sitting down for CDC rules, and it was like being in a living room. And then the first show happened, and we had to turn it over for the next show, but there were those brief moments where I was just like, okay, we're back.
Was it hard playing that show? And the reason I asked, Bre, is because I remember reading, I think you too said that when they played Dublin, it was like they didn't enjoy it because it's their friends and their families and their uncle in the audience. I feel like this was like a lot of the people that love you, the community that knows you. Does that give it an extra pressure, or actually the opposite? You
know, it was actually the opposite. I actually got off stage and I was telling my manager, I feel like none of my friends were here like it used to be, where, you know, at 5-Spot or Basement East, it's like mostly, you know, your friends and your people, and it was a lot of people I didn't know, and that's amazing. Yeah. It was, you know, I was at the merch table and would be talking to people that, like putting a face to people that I've never met before. Yeah. And so as much as I'm used to Nashville being this place where I can kind of get up on stage and practice my songs and for my friends, and it's a big friend party, this wasn't that. And so that was actually a new feeling, and it was a little nerve-wracking to be like, I don't really notice a lot of faces in here.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, it was a really, really beautiful
you owned that stage. Journey. You did.
We had a lot of fun. I mean, we walked out to Africa by Toto, and we also walked out to Friends in Low Places. Yeah. So we started the night off with a bang.
And it ended with a bang. I mean, I feel like you could have played for another 2 hours, that show.
We would have loved to.
It was amazing. Okay, so that was a great show in the past. Let's talk about an iconic one, a couple iconic ones in the future, but let's start with Bonnaroo. Yeah. Like, you're playing Bonnaroo Saturday night, dude, and which is the same day that Tame Impala plays, that Lizzo plays, that who else? Oh my God, I'm blanking out. But it's Incubus. Yes. Phoebe Bridgers plays that Saturday night. I mean, it's like the day to be there.
I cannot believe it.
I mean, like, what are you thinking? We're like 50 days away. We're 50 days away from Bonnaroo. I think yesterday they posted that. So we're 49 days away. What's on your mind?
I don't believe it's real, because we were supposed to play Bonnaroo before everything. We didn't know what day, but when it didn't happen, that was one of the festivals that had ended, and we were like, okay, like that marked, knowing Bonnaroo wasn't happening, marked COVID, like the pandemic, sitting in our house, quarantine, all that stuff for me of like, okay, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get on stage again. So knowing that like there's a set date and it's happening, it still hasn't hit me yet. Yeah. But I'm so excited. I mean, I'm going to be crying my eyes out at Tame Impala. Yeah. That's all I'm just going to sit there and be like, I can't believe I get to watch Kevin Parker. Yeah. And mostly it's going to be like a big party. For
we're super excited to go see you. Thank you. Like, honestly, more than anybody, we're like, okay, when we saw your name, we're like, yes. So
that's cool. Awesome. Yeah. Well, and then I'll come watch other shows with you guys.
Cool.
I'm going to be running around.
Love it. Okay, so that's one that's coming up. Another one, it's a lot of friends of our show, Maggie Rose and Them Vibes. Yeah. So the Brooklyn Bowl is a venue that recently opened here in Nashville. Yeah. And Maggie Rose is like a Nashville institution. And her new album's coming out, and this is like her kickoff Nashville show. Mm-hmm. It's a big show. Yeah. A lot of people are gonna be here, and you're gonna open for her. Yeah. But I've also come to learn that you have a nice relationship with Them Vibes and with Maggie and all that. Tell us a little bit about the show and the relationship you have with them.
Yeah. Well, Maggie's a dear friend. I'm a big fan of hers. I think she is a complete force on stage. One of the best voices out there, and when she asked me, it was awesome. I mean, she's like somebody who I look to as like, how do I have that stamina on stage?
Yeah.
I've never played at Brooklyn Bowl before, and I think it's going to be a nice introduction to kind of the newer venues in Nashville, and you know, I'm just honored to be singing with Maggie. I never have.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. There's going to be a lot of Bre Kennedy music in the future, and for the world to hear. I feel like this is just the beginning. So I want to ask you about the new songs, but why don't we pause and we play a song, if that's all right with you?
Absolutely.
That'll be great. Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a song called Progress. It was my first single I released this year.
Great song.
Yeah.
Cool.
At the corner bar again, if you ask me how I've been, I'll say nothing. Feels like nothing. I've been trying to fill the days with a little more than space. At least that's something, even when it feels like nothing. I've been waiting on my plans to get the green light, 'cause right now it feels like I'm without reason. Hard to believe in time when it's sleeping. I find ways to stay high on the weekend, starting to think that it's just the season I'm in. Maybe I'm too close to the moment that I can't see where I'm going. And when I get distance from this, I'll say I was making progress. Wish I could point on a map the other side of where I'm at, to know I've moved on. Oh, I've been trying to move on. Ooh, 'cause I still feel like that person, trying to be a better version of myself. But I can't tell if it's working. Right now it feels like I'm without reason. Hard to believe in time when it's sleeping. I find ways to stay high on the weekend, starting to think that it's just the season I'm in. Baby, I'm too close to the moment that I can't see where I'm going. And when I get distance from this, I see I was making progress. And I'll keep walking the line. Guess it's part of the process. Feels like I'm losing my mind. Tell me I'm making progress. And I'll keep walking the line. Guess it's part of the process. Feels like I'm losing my mind. Right now it feels like I'm without reason. Hard to believe in time when it's sleeping. I find ways to stay high on the weekend, starting to think that it's just the season I'm in. Baby, I'm too close to the moment that I can't see where I'm going. And when I get distance from this, I'll see I was making progress. And I'll keep walking the line. Guess it's part of the process. Feels like I'm losing my mind. Tell me I'm making progress. Ooh.
So Bre, you've released some really good songs this year. Introvert, one of them. Control, though, is super. Introvert's coming out by the time this airs.
Very soon. Yes.
It's gonna be out by the time this airs. So stream it. But Control, you talked about it at Basement East. This is the backstory, and I thought it was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a layer of growth, maybe, that you did in 2020.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, about Control and you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right at the top of everything, I think I had a little bit of a total like freak out, like, okay, if the world's falling apart right now, or at least that's how it felt, like, what is my life like? And it started like just going micro into everything that I realized I really try to, you know, have a grip on when it comes to like how I want to make sure that my family is, and how I want to make sure that my friends are, and making sure I do all the right things with my career, and just like everyday stuff that we're constantly banging our head against the wall.
Yeah.
And I just realized, like, as much as it's good in my effort, it's actually killing the joy that I naturally have for music and for my love of my friends and where I live and life in general. And so I was writing with Hadley Canary on Zoom. That was like our way of controlling, like, we're still working during quarantine. And one night I had a bottle of wine, and Had and I were talking about, I just said, I really want to write this song about control. I don't know what it will be exactly, but I think we should just come out and say that it feels like a disease of like needing to try and control everything around us, and just being really vulnerable about that. And in writing that song, and in getting to play it live, and in talking to people after shows, seeing that it's resonating because people are feeling the same way after everything. You know, we just have to let go. And my friends tell me all the time, you cannot control what you cannot control.
Yeah.
So just stop worrying.
Yeah.
You know?
It's beautiful.
Makes life easier.
Yeah. It just seems like maybe certainty was like a strong driving value for you, and maybe you had to embrace uncertainty a little bit more.
Amen. I still do. Still trying.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And another great thing about you, Bre, is your creative vision with your videos. I mean, your videos are awesome. I mean, we can go down the line. We can go with Where Did Summer Go? You playing in an empty swimming pool. That's like an iconic shot. Like, I can't with that shot.
I was so sad.
That is, yeah. I'm so happy you're having a good summer,
yeah,
by the way.
Now we are, yeah.
Yes, I'm like, yes, we're all happy for you in summer. Yeah.
But I'm happy I have that time capsule. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
It's a beautiful video.
But your videos are amazing.
I can't take credit for it. I mean, Jason Lee Denton and Allie Shields are my best friends, some of my best friends in Nashville, and Jason is a total visionary. And so usually I'll send him a song and I'll say, you know, this is what I'm thinking for it, and he'll always go, let's go like 7 steps farther. And will you be willing to be tied up, or will you be willing to be in a freezing pool, or will you be willing to rent out the Two Rivers abandoned park and get in a skating bowl and like at 4 a.m. You know, he's just always like, this would be an amazing shot. So talking about no control, I truly have surrendered to like collaboration with my friends and fellow creatives.
And how do you feel?
Awesome. I mean, it's awesome to see yourself back. I mean, I'm like a total nerd in my head, and seeing how my friend sees me, how Jason sees and like takes in the art that I make, and how he sees that, that's really special. Yeah. And I feel like I get to be the most me. I mean, he really essentially is filming me staring at the camera, telling these stories.
Yeah. Introvert is quite a unique video too, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're underwater. Like, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, well, I think it'll be out by the time this airs. Again, Jason called me, and I told him, I actually have a video that I recorded of me and him and my manager talking about what the video would be like. And I said, I just feel like my head has been underwater, and being alone over quarantine made me go, oh, it's because my cup was empty for like years, because I love making other people happy, and I love being out every night, and I've always thought of myself as a pretty extroverted person. No, I'm not. And maybe that's come with age, but I don't know. I'm definitely an introvert, and I've learned to set boundaries on like, hey, you've been out for 3 days straight, helping everybody else, helping your family and your friends. Yeah. You need to stay in, take a bath, and chill the hell out. And so the video was inspired by, we wanted it to be like taking a bath, but then it turned into like head being underwater.
Yeah.
And it references the second verse where I say, sometimes I'm in a submarine watching everything happen around me.
It's amazing.
Which is very telling also apparently of an Enneagram 4, which is what I am.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, let's talk about the newest member of the Bre Kennedy clan/family, and I'm talking about Mushu, right? So Mushu, for my audience that doesn't know, is your adorable dog.
He's the best.
I mean, he's like the star of your social media.
Yeah.
1 million likes per post for
Yeah,
Mushu.
he's my favorite.
Like I feel like I have to ask this because it's such an important part of your life now.
Yeah.
Tell us the story of Mushu.
So when I went to visit said friend, when I did that video of me dancing in the theater, her mom had this little chihuahua named Elvis. And I hung out with this chihuahua all day, and I just went, I need a dog.
Yeah.
I grew up with dogs, I love them. And I specifically was like, but I'm gonna be traveling a lot. I usually love pit bulls, and I want a big dog in my life, but I travel a lot. So I thought I'd look for a smaller dog. And I came back and I had puppy on the brain, and I blacked out for like 2 weeks, and I just was like looking for a dog. And I went a few different places, and then Emmylou Harris, her place, Crossroads in Germantown, they called me and they said, we have this dog, you should just come in and meet him.
And Crossroads, for people that don't know, it's like an adoption. Like Emmylou Harris is really big into dogs and shelters and all animals.
She
and all that.
is such an advocate for shelter dogs, and she is amazing. And
Advocates.
so this place basically goes to shelters and brings the dogs and gets them ready for the home. It's awesome. And so I took Mushu home, and he has calmed me down so much. I mean, being home all year, I just was like, I love being home when I can. So if I can just have a little friend.
I love it.
Yeah, we're still learning tricks.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bre, this has been so enjoyable. You've been so good with your time.
Thank
Let's
you.
finish with your album. It's coming out in the fall.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
I mean, it's like it's gonna happen. It's gonna go out into the world. It's gonna be a huge hit. Like I know, people are gonna love it.
All my babies.
No, like I know I'm gonna manifest it. It's gonna be humongous.
I'll do it with you.
Yes, cool. But tell us a little bit about a bit about the cycle and the fall and your plans and like what do you envision yourself like doing in Christmas with the album, Thanksgiving, and all that.
Well, I was gonna release it sooner in the year, but I love so many of the songs. There's 14 songs on the album.
14, good.
And I really wanted to give each of them, for the most part, a spot. And so we're waiting.
I'm happy you're doing that.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse when like song 9 is amazing and no one hears it.
Yeah, I really genuinely, obviously to me it's probably the only person that it means the most to, but I'm like, man, I think this song really, like I love this. I want it to have a place in the world. So somewhere in October, I'm gonna be releasing the album, and after that, I'm gonna be touring a little bit through fall.
Amazing.
And even after the album's out, I'm gonna still hold a spot for some of the songs.
The best.
Continue to release music videos and get ready for touring at the top of the year next year.
Continue to kick ass. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Bre Kennedy, you have said it all. Instagram at I am Bre Kennedy.
Yes.
BreKennedy.com.
I am Bre Kennedy.
I am BreKennedy.com. There you go.
I think I'm doing that right.
Thank you. Thanks so much for your time, Bre.
Thank you.
You're gonna take us away with a song?
Yes. I'm gonna play one more.
Awesome.
Awesome.
We win.
Hi, you guys. My name's Bre Kennedy, and this is my song, Control. I wake up every day, I make my coffee the same way. I'm a slave to the routine, 'cause I thought through some grit makes me think I'll lose my shit, 'cause that's the way that God made me. I'm a short fuse, I'm a live wire. I don't want to, but I catch fire if I lose control. Tell me who the hell is gonna do it all if I don't. I can try to beat the system, but the world will never listen. And the more that I resist, the more I know I gotta let it go. Ooh, I Anticipation's killing me, and it keeps me up at night. I'm afraid of what I don't know, so I'm happy as I go. I'm just trying to get it right the first time I lose control. Tell me who the hell is gonna do it all if I don't. I can try to beat the system of the world and never listen, and the more that I resist, the more I know. I gotta let it go. I'm a live wire. I don't want to, but I catch fire. Need a band-aid for this wild mind. So one more drink will be just fine. If I lose control, tell me who the hell is gonna do it all if I don't. Try to beat the system of the world and never listen, and the more that I resist, the more I know. I gotta let it go.